Good morning. It's January the 2nd, 2020. No, it's not the 2nd.
Yeah. So,
January the 2nd, 2022. I'm usually the one that doesn't know what the correct date is. Beautiful morning here in South Georgia. I'd say it's 50 degrees, maybe 55, I don't know. I'll be taking this jacket, this little shirt off in a little while. So yesterday I was trying to get me some new little secondary targets on my hay bale there and cutting some pieces of aluminum foil from some pans and all. But I played tennis yesterday with my old codger group. We had a great time, beautiful weather. And we pulled the top off the tennis ball can, and look at that. I'm thinking I can get any number of these because we open one can every week at least. I can get it. Nobody wants this. And then you can bend the thing up and have a way to hang it. I'm going to try it today. And also it serves the purpose of giving me a smaller target, which I've been wanting to do, is to really hone my skill on a smaller target. So I'm just going to take this and put it, I guess, in the middle somewhere. I got to come up with some kind of a stick. Now, this is a good hay bale right here. I've got a friend that puts this hay up. There we go. And he does a really, really good job. I buy this for my animals. Alright, so today I'm going to get my bow out and we'll get it strung up and check the brace height. But I'll give you a little teaser. I'm going to talk about being a fool. I realize that in the eyes of a lot of people, let me get out of the sun a little bit, I'm a fool. People don't like to be thought of as being a fool. But whether or not you're a fool, really, it depends on who's saying it and how you perceive it. Or I'll say this: one man's fool is another man's wise man. So who's saying that you're a fool? And do you mind being a fool in their eyes for a certain reason? Okay, I don't mind it. Although when I first started this, I didn't like the idea that I was going to be perceived as being a fool by essentially most of the people that are following the broad highway rather than the narrow highway. That idea of being a fool keeps us from doing what we were told by our Master, Yeshua the Messiah, Jesus Christ. He told us to go out and declare His name before men. Tell people about Him. If you do that, the fear of being a fool in the eyes of some will make you hesitate. You know, because we just don't like being thought of as a fool. We want everybody to like us. That's just human nature. I guess I'd like everybody to like me too. That's not the right way to think about it. The ones that think that you're a fool are not going to like you. You're not trying to get their friendship. And the ones that see what you're saying, they are going to respect you. I would like to encourage you believers out there that are beginning to think, hey, you know, I need to be witnessing to people. I need to be declaring the name of Yeshua, Jesus, before men, as he instructed us to do. He said, if you don't help me gather the lost sheep, you are helping scatter the sheep. I want to encourage you, go ahead, bite the bullet, and don't worry about what people are going to say about you. They're going to call you a fool. You're not going to be there, you know, they're not going to like you. It's likely to start with your own family. This is what hurts the most. Your own family, some of your own family may reject you and say, hey, my mom or my dad, whatever you are, has gone off the deep end. You're wrong about that, mom or dad, or whoever you are, sister or brother. Well, Yeshua said that he came to divide mother against daughter, father against son, and so forth and so on. Don't be afraid. I'll tell you this, it starts off hard. When you first start trying to witness, you stumble along, you know, and it doesn't work well with you, and you say, oh, I'm a fool, they think I'm a fool. But it gets easier as you do it. He'll give you the strength to do it. He wants you to do it. Now, I'll tell you one more piece of advice. Don't try to do what I'm doing. Everybody has their own gift that God will give them. Trust God to give you something to do. You might say a ministry, a mini ministry, if you want to call it that. Ask him, okay, God, this is kind of what I'm good at. I'm good at this, or I'm good at that, you know. You don't want to copy somebody else, you know, because believe it or not, he has infinite number of jobs for believers to do. It's like a snowflake. They say no snowflake is exactly like another one. Believe me, he's got you a niche somewhere. So I would advise you not to try to copy somebody else. Alright, now I'm going to string up olive oil and try to shoot at this little bitty tennis can top and see what I can do with it. Don't be afraid. If you're going to be a fool in the eyes of some, what more, who more would you want to be a fool for than our Savior, Yeshua, Jesus? Okay, we're probably going to cut the camera off right now. I got to go up here and get the bow strung up and all that, okay? Alright, I have strung up olive oil, and I am going to shoot at that little tennis can top. I'm about 10 yards, maybe 12, okay, just to give you an idea. Well within deer range if you place your blind or ladder stand or tripod stand or whatever. And if you're really good, you can just stand real still and they'll get that close to you. The problem is, as soon as you move, they're gonna butt. If you believe, you can actually shoot deer like that. I've shot at them like that, standing still. I've shot at hogs like that with no problem, but hogs are not, they don't see nearly as well as deer do. Alright, let's see what we can do. You didn't hear a pop, so that means I didn't hit it. I got close to it. I scared it. I hit it that time. and I hit it that time. Let's walk up here and see. All right, I can see right now that those tennis can tops are not going to last too long. And I know why I missed that one right there, because when I decided this is where I need to be aiming, I took my eye off of the target for just a tiny amount of time because I didn't have faith that I was, you know, aiming properly. I wanted to, you know, kind of double check, and that's why you miss. You got to go with what you see. Once you get it like you think, this is it, you got to hold steady right there and let the thing go. So I steadied up right there. All right, so I got some stuff I've got to do. We've got a lot going on this morning. We got our Woodmizer. Yeah, I got my Woodmizer hat. Like I said, you get, this is what you get when you spend money with a company and buy some of their equipment. They give you a hat. We bought a Woodmizer slab miser. A slab miser. Let's get over here in the shade a little bit. Now we have set the slab miser up under the pole barn. We've actually used it, but we found out that it puts off a great deal of chips and dust and all that. So we're in the process now of hooking up a vacuum system to suck that stuff away so that we can do this slab misering. So I'm probably going to film some of that today, and I'd like to put it out there for who's interested. And we'll be doing some Woodmizer sawmilling today. We've got a couple of pretty big orders that we have to get. Now I know there's a lot of people out there interested in getting into the sawmilling business. I started it, I got into it more than 40 years ago with my first portable sawmill, which was a Woodmizer. I've been doing it ever since. My kids are doing it now. I did other regular jobs too. I didn't just do that. It was something to fill in. But there's a lot of sawmills out there. There's some cheapos too, that like Harbor Freight has some, you know. And I talked to a guy this weekend who had wanted to see our operation, and he's wanting to get him one of those El Cheapos. They're $4,000 or $5,000 you can get them, and you actually push the power head to saw through the you know, that's okay if you're just going to do a little bit, you know, and then turn around and resell it. But you're going to work hard with that kind of mill. But if you're wanting to really get into it, you know, the Woodmizer is top of the line, and there's other good ones too. And I will say this, you know, people are trying to think of some kind of way to make money without having to deal with the system and companies and all that. Depending on where you are, you got plenty of wood, or you're in a well-forested area, you like working with wood, don't mind hard work, willing to stay with it a long time. Can you afford it? Woodmizer, by the way, will sell you a sawmill on credit. I don't advise that myself, you know, because the Bible teaches that the borrower is the slave of the lender. But then again, who has $40,000 to buy a sawmill? So just understand what you're doing. But the good thing about it is that I guess if you don't pay Woodmizer, they probably also make you have insurance on that sawmill. I don't know that, but I wouldn't be surprised. So basically, if you don't pay for it, I guess they'll come hook it up to a truck and haul it off. And you will have lost whatever you've paid on it up to that point. Okay. So we're gonna be doing that in a little while, and I'll be letting you know how that goes. Okay, this is Gardener Israel signing off.